All your favorite wrestling shows rolled into one. Welcome to the We Book It podcast. Let's start the show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of the We Book It podcast. This is your Sunday night stunner, and I got two of my most favorite wrestling buddies to talk with me today about none other than everything going on in wrestling, primarily WWE right now, because that's one with all the news going on. But still, we're going to have a great night, a great episode. Can't wait for you guys to tune in. Appreciate you all so much. Wherever you are in the whole wide world, you are choosing to be here with us right now, listening to us talk wrestling. And please do us a favor. If you enjoy the topics we talk about, please go ahead and leave your comments below and let us know your thoughts. We want to hear what you guys think too about our topics that we have. With me, without further ado, of course, I got my brother from another mother. I got the host of the AEW All Elite Recap Show. That's right, the man, Sir Claudius. What's up, C?
What's going on, We Book It fam? Glad to be back on the pod. I know I've been a couple of weeks since I've been off, but I'm back, re-energized and ready to get this show on the road.
Abso-freaking-lutely. And of course, guys, we got the workhorse, the current two-time booking world champion. He is the host of your Raw Dog Monday night episodes, guys. He is the person that can teach you how to throw a splitter, a changeup, and a curveball all at the same time. He is our current booking world champion, Coach Mid. What's up, Coach?
Virgil, thank you for that introduction. Hello, everybody. Although my perfect streak came to an end last night, I was 8-0 in my last matches in predictions, but unfortunately, I thought they were going to go the easy route and give Jey Uso the title. However, it is all right. I still retained the booking world championship on a technicality, but I don't care.
Hey, listen. He was willing enough, gracious enough to put the title on the line. I almost thought he would have lost it off a forfeit. But the crazy part is okay, so according to the We Book It bylaws and rules, Coach actually didn't even actually have to make his picks. He would have retained the championship anyways because everybody else tied. So if everybody else ties, he still keeps the title anyways. Only 4 matches on the Saturday night's main event card last night. You had Jey Uso versus CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship, with CM Punk winning the World Heavyweight Championship. No interruption. They made it a crowning a moment for CM Punk. He got to be emotional in the ring. Jey Uso was emotional on the side of the ring after the match. Obviously, we had the triple threat for the Intercontinental Championship, where by hook or crook, Dirty Dom, Dominic Mysterio, was able to retain his Intercontinental Championship. Me and Coachman both picked him for that. And then, of course, we had the women's WWE Championship match. And, of course, we crowned a brand new women's champion in Jade. And then, last but not least, Cody Rhodes did retain his WWE Championship. All topics we're going to talk about tonight because we want you guys' opinions on it. But first and foremost, we do have to talk about the brand new World Heavyweight Champion and ask you guys what's next for him and what's next for Jey Uso. I'm going to go to you, Coach, first.
Well, for CM Punk, we're going towards Survivor Series. I think obviously the Vision's going to be involved. Roman's going to make his comeback. It's just going to set up a War Games. He won't defend his title until probably the next Saturday night's main event. But I am curious to see the direction they go with the Vision for this War Games match. If they are who they're going to add, if it's somebody going to turn heel, or is it just a returning superstar that to be joining like an Austin Theory. As for Jey, I mean, he did not look good last night. He looked slow as heck. I don't know if somebody made a comment. It reminded them of the Jeff Hardy Sting Road to Glory match. That's how out of it Jey seemed.
Okay.
I don't agree with that, but I do agree that he looked really bad last night, and it's questionable if he's going to get another world title run. I do think his character change when he turns heel is going to be beneficial for him. I think we're already seeing that because he flipped off the fans on Instagram when he posted, "You all got what you want," with CM Punk winning and him flipping off Punk and the fans. So I don't know. I really don't know where he goes with. I think it's going to lead to a match with Jimmy where it's going to be hopefully better than the WrestleMania match. But definitely the over under for super kicks is going to be at like 8 for that match.
Yeah. Well, go ahead. See, what are your thoughts?
As a pertains to CM Punk, I think him and LA Knight, I think we're about due for them to really tap into this, feud that they've been having over the last like couple of months. Even though there have been other wrestlers involved, mainly the Vision and Jay Uso. So I think now that it's just those two, they can really go at it. I don't know.
Are you turning LA Knight heel in that situation, or are you going to do
I
babyface
don't
versus
know. I
babyface?
honestly don't know. Like, this is one of those ones where I think it's just gonna be face versus face, and we figure out who the best man is. Honestly, I think it's gonna be one of them situations like how it was. Remember how it used to be with Triple H and Jeff Hardy on SmackDown, and Jeff
Yeah,
Hardy,
2008.
hard,
Yep.
trying so hard to get the brass ring per se, and he will always come up short. Till obviously, Edge got into play and they had a triple threat match at Armageddon. Jeff Hardy won the championship. But I think in this case, this would be a good. I would say, I don't know, like, because LA Knight's still gonna catch. He's such a fan favorite where I don't even think turning him heel is going to do anything. Like,
Sure.
because I don't think CM Punk is that big of a baby face to where LA Knight is going to catch a lot of heat, if
Okay.
he's heel. So I think that, just have them be face to face. The promo is going to be on fire regardless,
Right.
So, I think, just keep them face and, have them go at it. I think you can sell the feud with them both being baby faces. So, but yeah, I think that'll be what happens with CM Punk as it pertains to Jay. Um, I think he crashes out, man. I think he crashes out on his brother, and they go at it, and I don't know how Roman would factor into the situation. I know he said he don't want to see them until Christmas.
Right.
But I would imagine, but for right now, that Jay will crash out on Jimmy, and then he's going to remember the time that Jimmy turned on him in the past,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like that'd be a good way to set everything up. So that'd be a good feud to close out 2025. Honestly, so yeah, those are my thoughts on that.
I like it. It definitely would feel like it's something fresh and new with LA Knight versus CM Punk. I like that idea. I do.
Mm-hmm.
There's a problem there though. There is the problem of Roman Reigns. Now, the word on the street is Roman and CM Punk are still supposed to lead a War Games team together against the Vision. So that's apparently supposed to still happen. So if that's apparently supposed to still happen, then what do you do with Jay? Is Jay a babyface or is Jay a heel? Does Jay turn on CM Punk at the end of that match, costing him the War Games match, and allowing the Vision to win the match? I mean, that's absolutely a possibility. I know Triple H is going to try to do something big. This will also be the first WWE War Games match outside. So, like I said, it's gonna be a Safeco Park, where the San
Petco.
Diego. Oh, I'm sorry, Petco Park. Safeco is Seattle. Sorry,
Yeah.
Petco Park, where the San Diego Padres play baseball. But yeah, man, I look at this and it's a very, very interesting route you could take. I look at maybe doing something different. I think they chose CM Punk because Gunther is going to come back and challenge for that World Heavyweight Championship. You remember, guys, CM Punk beat Gunther at SummerSlam, but Gunther never got his rematch for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Right.
So he's still technically waiting in the wings. And again, I also know that since Triple H is taking over, there's no more guaranteed world title matches anymore. You have to earn those. So Gunther probably will earn a world championship match against CM Punk as something. But with the other Cena tournament, not everything could be a tournament. So it's probably going to be one match to see who's the next person to fight for the world title. But if I'm Triple H, Gunther's on a plane. Michael King just declined his option. He turned down $15 million with the San Diego Padres to become a free agent. Oh, Cubby.
Interesting.
But no. Back to what I was saying though. Anyways, yeah. So I will keep an eye on Monday Night Raw tomorrow night, Coach. I expected you to mention Gunther in this segment, like I said, because he hasn't been around. He's just been chilling, but he's waiting in the wings for an opportunity at that World Heavyweight Championship. So, like I said, CM Punk needs to be very, very careful because Gunther will be watching. As far as Jey Uso goes, I like the fact that he lost. I like the fact that it's going to send him spiraling. I like the fact that he's going to do some very irrational things because he thinks with his heart and not with his head. And I like the fact that he's going to get emotional about such things, and it's going to cause him to mess up some relationships for the time being. But that's okay, because that just creates controversy, creates a better story in the end, if you ask me. So, very curious to see who Jey Uso ends up going up against. I do like the thought process that it probably will end up being his brother. They did say they wanted a rematch, a redo of their match from WrestleMania 40, where they felt like they didn't live up to the expectations. So, don't be surprised. They didn't. I mean, like I said, because if you do brother versus brother, you start with Brett versus Owen at WrestleMania, which was phenomenal.
Yep.
Like I said, and Owen finally beat his older brother, and that was the story behind that one. But Bret Hart, not to be outdone, and that same night won the WWF Championship anyway. So he's like, he wrestled twice. He's like, yeah, I lost to my brother, but I won the WWF title. So did I really lose or no? And then obviously you have Jeff Hardy versus Matt Hardy in an Extreme Rules match, and that was one of the first times we saw somebody go through a ladder. Like, it was obviously a wooden ladder, but still they went through the ladder. When Jeff damn near decapitated Matt through that ladder. So brother versus brother matches, this was the least favorite. I love the build up to this one the most out of all three build ups, but the match just did not deliver with the build up. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, man. Any other thoughts on this? I mean, obviously you guys have to tune in to Monday Night Raw Dog to be able to see and hear what's next and what the outcome is. But any other thoughts on this topic, y'all, for the World Championship? All right, ladies and gents. Well, it is time for our throwback moment of the week.
All right, good people. Throwback moment of the week. This past Saturday night's main event. We look at all the ones that left the event as champions. We got CM Punk, we got Cody Rhodes, Jade Cargill winning her first WWE Women's Championship, CM Punk winning the World Heavyweight Championship, Cody Rhodes retaining his WWE Undisputed Championship. And then we also can't forget about Mr. Ricky Saints on the NXT side, who recently became NXT champion. While he didn't perform Saturday, you know, can't help but think about the former AEW stars that have been champions in that company that managed to be top champions of their particular brands, um, post Saturday night. And so there was like a picture of all four of them, together holding their championships. And we know how close, they are as friends off screen. And so you think about just, back to the AEW days, Cody winning the TNT championship, CM Punk winning the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. You got Ricky Saints winning the FTW championship, and of course Jade Cargill winning the TBS championship on the women's side. And so just thinking about those times, and we know Jade Cargill during that reign, before the reign, and during she had that undefeated streak. I think she got to about what was it 50 or 60 wins before she lost. And so, and then Cody, we know the long history he had with that TNT championship before he lost to the late great Brody. And so, and then obviously Ricky Saints with the with the FTW championship that Taz pretty much introduced. And obviously CM Punk making his grand return to professional wrestling, going debuting in AEW and eventually winning his AEW World Championship. Even though there was a lot of controversy, during that time with him and Moxley and everybody else in the company, but yeah, that's just a little throwback moment, seeing the old AEW stars, succeeding in WWE, winning championships, and so yeah, throwback moment of the week.
Thank you, C, for that throwback moment of the week and a forward moment of the week also at the same time, mentioning the fact that we do have all elite WWE champions within our brands, three of which are leading the company and their respective brands as world champions in Jade, Ricky, and Cody. And I guess CM Punk too. That's never mind. So yeah, they're all leading company in their own right. So big fu to Tony Khan, I guess in that sense. But it happens.
Don't forget about Ethan Page and Blake Monroe too.
Oh yes. Ethan,
oh yeah.
Men's North American NXT North American champion on the men's side, and Blake Monroe, the women's North American champion on the so yeah, they everybody from AEW going to WWE, they've been balling, man. So Triple H knows what to do with these superstars when they get over there. So Blake Monroe, and the best thing about her, Ethan Page. Yeah, I know Ethan Page won NXT championship. He had his one reign, but then he eventually lost that back to Trick. But he still gets another shot, wins North American Championship. But Blake Monroe, I like how they didn't give her the strap quickly. They didn't give her no NXT Women's Championship yet, opportunity yet. But North American Championship is a good starting point for her. And I think she can hold this thing for a hot minute, man. So we know that she has the potential to be a world champion, for a lengthy period of time. We saw it in AEW, the rivalry with her and Tony Storm. So I think she can eventually parlay that into something in NXT, become the NXT Women's Champion, and who knows, she gets to the main roster, down the line, she can get her World Championship opportunity there as well. So only time will tell, but I like what I'm seeing so far with the former AEW stars. Even though a couple of them are former WWE guys at heart, but they just happen to come back home. But for the most part, it's good to see them thriving, and being successful at the top of their game, in WWE. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One guy that has been thriving, but you know, I appreciate the fact that when we talk on this channel, especially on these shows, on the Sunday night shows, we talk very candidly and openly about our thoughts on booking, which is the whole premise of the show. So when we talk about this, we talk about booking. I want to talk about Drew McIntyre. I want to spend a little bit of time talking about Drew because Drew McIntyre once again lost another WWE championship match. Like I said, and in this one, I mean, who does he blame after this one? Who does he blame after this loss? Where do we go from here? And has Triple H missed his opportunity to give Drew his big moment? I mean, you think about his world title reign, that was costed him by CM Punk. You think about, all the things that have happened to him. Like, I mean, is it over for Drew and the WWE Championship or World Championship in general? Should he maybe focus on United States or Intercontinental Championship? What are you guys' thoughts?
Oh man, it's tough. I mean, he's already posted the meme with Cody Rhodes when he was telling the story about him and Ted DiBiase messing up the match. Well, Ted DiBiase Jr. messing up the match when he says the referee was trying to F on me and everything like that. So I think Drew's already going that route with the referee. I feel like they're going to get a rematch at Survivor Series. I'm not going to hold my breath, though. But yeah, it's come and gone for Drew, unfortunately, with the World Heavyweight Championship. And it's a shame because he did amazing work in 2024 that he earned a big push.
Mm-hmm.
And all it has been is we'll keep you in the main event scene, but you're going to lose every match pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing with Triple H's booking, the one thing I am frustrated with, don't get me wrong, I love Drew McIntyre's character with the trolling online and just telling it like it is. I think that's great. But remember when he was the bloodline hunter and he went after guys in the bloodline for revenge?
Yeah, after making him lose in his home country at Clash in Cardiff.
Yeah. Where did that go? That can still be a part of his character as he's going forward.
I like that.
Yeah, I think they're giving him creative freedom for his character. I think with how he acts online, how he acts in the ring, how he does his promos. But booking wise for the matches, they need to do something else because it's not working. The crowd obviously is still behind him no matter what. It's just very frustrating that I think it said he's lost his last 8 matches total.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not even including the.
Well, he won Friday night against.
Okay, so maybe it was before that when I read that.
Yeah.
But either way, it's been very frustrating booking, and it's nothing on the part of McIntyre's fault because he has done a phenomenal job keeping himself relevant despite the cards he's been dealt.
I agree. I think my issue is I love Drew McIntyre. I love his character. I love how he's able to cut his promos. I love how he talks smack and he can back it up in the ring. But I guess everybody can't be champion at the same time. But I also do not want another long Cody Rhodes World Championship run. The problem here is if you do this with Cody and he has 2 consecutive long WWE championship runs, the fans are going to tire of him. These WWE fans are fickle, man. They
They
are
already
fickle
are.
people. Yeah, like I mean, like they're gonna get sick of him. You're gonna do him like you did Rhea. You're gonna run him into the ground. Like look, like you don't have. I mean, I'm not saying make him a tweener like Big Show and Kane was in the 2010s, but like where like 1 month he's a baby face, 2 months later he's a heel. But like like Finn Balor's been a heel now for 5 years. You can spend some time with Cody Rhodes being a heel for a minute. You know. I don't know. See, what are your thoughts on Drew and his world title run?
It's really unfortunate, to be honest with you. And I think I saw like a clip on Facebook where they like kind of talked about how last year, the last time Cody had a finish like what we had at Saturday Night's Main Event this past weekend, when he faced Kevin Owens, and pretty much ended the same way. This time, like Kevin Owens, he tried to use a steel chair, but he ended up getting hit with the crossroads on the chair. Cody Rhodes ends up retaining, and then in this case, you got Drew McIntyre. He was trying to use the belt, but then he ended up getting DDT'd on the belt, and then eventually got hit with the crossroads and lost. So it's almost like, all right, we got a similar finish against 2 heated rivals, against Cody, and it was just like, all right, where do we go from here? Like, now who does Cody face? Like, because there's like 2 or 3 times now he didn't, had to deal with Drew, and Drew has come up short. So it's like, where, do we go Orton? Do we go the Orton route or what? Like,
Right.
I feel like now, like, and you gotta wonder, like, all right, where does where Cody might go, but now where does Drew go from here? Like, it's weird because, at least if they would have had Drew win, we're more likely gonna get another matchup between him and Cody. So, like, my thought would have been to have Drew win it, and then Cody get his rematch, and then Cody loses, and then now Drew can go on and have a legit title reign, without having to lose the championship so early, So I think with him losing in the way that he did, I think, and I think we got Survivor Series coming up, so I just feel like, the next Saturday night's main event, which is going to be December
Yeah.
13th.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, it'll be John Cena. That's
Yeah,
that's really going to be all about John Cena, but yeah.
yeah. So I think that'll be, if you really want to make that, a damn near PLE type of environment, have a another match between those two to really end it. Um, but it can't be a regular match. It has to be like legit all out, like, whether it's I Quit match or last man standing, which I know they just did on NXT. But I think they got to do something between those two, because obviously is more personal now than it's ever been. So I
Yep.
think, I say go ahead and make it, um, make it a non-regular match. Just have it to where they fight to the damn near fight to the death, honestly. And and obviously you want to make sure you give, like, the fans something to look forward to leading up to the Cena match, because we know that match with Cena is going to be the last match on the of the night. So you want to make sure you got all hands on deck and really, go book a really great event. So I think, having Cody and Drew one more time, in a high stakes match, put whatever stipulations you can possibly throw in there. I know the last match was Cody couldn't get disqualified or counted out, right?
Right.
Yeah. So
Or Drew will win the belt.
yeah. So this time, you know, just throw all the bullshit out the window and have them do like Iron Man match or like I said, there's got to be a stipulation match where like you can't leave the match. You can't leave this thinking like, all right, they left something on the table. No, like you gotta like they gotta leave it all out there. You know, So like
Book it
no,
now. 3 stages of hell match. Do it.
yeah, it's been a while since they had that. That could be like the co-main event. So yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that either. Like, because it has to end at Saturday night's main event. You can't have this. You can't have them have them facing each other in January. Like, we
I,
don't
I
need.
say I say you could finish it at Survivor Series between these two. Have them kick off the show if the War Games match either have them kick off the show or close the show. If you're gonna do something as big as a 3 stages of hell match or something like that, or a Hell in a Cell match, then like I said, I'm totally cool with that, either opening or closing the show. Well, you can't do a Hell in a Cell if you got the War Games cage already up there,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, we'll
So
see what happens. You know,
yeah.
I know they've been trying to improve on the writing and booking and stuff. So we'll see how everything plays out. I know they've been stepping it up on the weekly shows, but you know, they got to do it for these PLEs too. So
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of which, y'all, it is time to talk about who booked it best. All right, everybody. So now it's time for us to do our favorite portion of the show where we talk about who booked it best this week. Listen, we talk about Tony Khan. We talk about Shawn Michaels. We talk about Triple H. We talk about those guys that are heads of creative for their respective brands or shows. Triple H being head of creative over SmackDown and Raw. The chief content officer, obviously, everything goes through him. Now, Tony Khan is general manager, chief content officer, CEO, chief executive officer. He wears like 10 different hats. Shawn Michaels is just the guy that's in charge of NXT and the development. So, but as for the shows you watched this week, when it comes to AEW Dynamite, that they had a pretty good show. When it comes to the all-out brawl between Ricky Saints and Trick Williams, that basically enthralled or took over the whole episode of NXT throughout the night. When you talk about, Friday Night SmackDown and the huge main event with Jimmy Uso and Drew McIntyre. When you look at Monday Night Raw and the face-to-face between Jade and CM Punk, and then of course that awesome women's tag team match to close the show on Main Event the Show on Monday Night Raw. I'm asking you guys for this week and this week alone, who booked it best? I'll start with you, Coach.
Man, that's tough. I'm going to have to say, and this might not be the popular one to take, I think Shawn Michaels did it best with NXT this week. I think because of how they're building the rivalry with Tatum Paxley and Izzy Dame, I think that's great. I also love that they brought the wheel for a random match for Tatum to do every week pretty much during her title reign, which is unique and something we haven't seen in a while. And like you said, also loved the Ricky and Trick segments. I also liked the what he's doing with kind of helping with TNA with Kalani Jordan, basically turning her heel. Now I think that was much needed, especially for the storyline. I think it's only going to help her down the road, and especially if, like I said, the storyline wise, I think it makes sense. So I'm gonna go Shawn Michaels is best. Triple H number 2 because yes, Raw was very good. SmackDown pretty good as well, and then Saturday night's main event I thought wasn't too bad. I do think the matches were pretty good, including the squash match for Jade on Tiffy. And then, yeah, Tony, number 3 for me.
I like it. I like it. See, who booked it best this week?
Yeah, I gotta go with Shawn Michaels, man. Number 1. Just seeing how the entire night played out with Trick and Ricky Saints. Just seeing the development in that rivalry itself. Just kind of take you back to like the ruthless aggression era, where it's like the whole night somebody feud having pretty much brawling with each other the entire night. Triple H and Shawn Michaels. So ironically enough, it's fitting that that happened throughout the night. We know what happened. During those days, Shawn Michaels and Triple H brawling on Monday Night Raw. Going from the parking lot through the backstage in the ring, everything, they was all over the place. And so that was good to see. I would say, Triple H, second, with his booking, definitely getting everything set up, for Saturday night's main event, and everything that played out how it did. And then Tony Khan third. I will say the best thing Tony Khan did this week was the whole segment with a Samoa Joe and Hangman basically dressing up as Tony Schiavone and basically cracking the beer bottle over his head and attacking the entire ops crew. And hitting them with the little slingshot lariat, the buckshot lariat. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, I definitely say Triple H had the edge over Tony. But Shawn Michaels did his thing overall. So
yeah. Like I said, I don't think this week you can really go wrong. I think Tony doing a special Halloween episode was really cool. Obviously, this was all to set up that main event portion where Hangman takes off the Tony Schiavone mask, and like I said, it's him, which is hilarious in and of itself, but it works. And then, of course, we're coming off the heels of Halloween Havoc, which was amazing in and of itself. And then you move on from that to another pretty good episode of NXT. But to me, after hearing so much about Raw and SmackDown wanting to be fresh, wanting to do different things, me and Coach talked about it past Monday. That was so refreshing to have the women be in the main event. And for the match to actually be really, really good, like I said, Charlotte and Alexa have been a godsend to the women's division. Alexa Bliss coming back to WWE has been a godsend for the women's division. Definitely something that they needed. And like I said, I love it. And I really enjoyed that main event. And then I turned around and the Friday and like I said, and I enjoyed everything that happened on SmackDown this past week too. So in my eyes, I am going to go ahead and give the nod to Triple H booking it best. And then I'm going to give it over to Shawn Michaels, and then Tony Khan will be third on my list. Based off of that, y'all, this is our thoughts on who booked it best. We want you guys to tell us who you believe booked it best. All right, so back with you guys again. Who the hell did Tiffany Stratton piss off, or well, I guess not necessarily piss off, but there's this whole storyline that's going now, and again, ain't even a storyline. Tiffany Stratton lost her WWE Championship to Jade Cargill at Saturday night's main event, and it was basically like a squash match. Obviously, Tiffy they fiend the whole Tiffany being injured thing with her leg, and that was pretty much the whole story. So they're going to use that to say Jade pretty much took advantage of her and abused her, and like I said, took the championship from her. But in real life, Tiffany Stratton, apparently, everybody's acting like it's brand new news that her and Ludwig are no longer together. I thought this was like common knowledge. I feel like we talked about this a few months ago that her and Ludwig were no longer together. Ludwig was actually seen at some event dancing with the WWE Espanol TV show host, who apparently is now his girlfriend. Tiffany Stratton is looking to take some time off from wrestling, apparently. Is the newest word out on the street. Like I said, again, this is all gossip. We don't know if it's true or not. But apparently her and she's really struggling after her and Ludwig broke up. And like I said, she is now looking to take some time off from wrestling, which is why they took the belt off of her. I don't know how long she'll be out for, but yeah, like I said, it's got to be tough. All this has to be tough. So, what are you guys' thoughts?
Well, to think Giovanni Vinci lost his job because of these two, and now they're not even together anymore.
Mm.
I mean, he wasn't going to do much anyways, but I mean, it's just the thought.
Yeah.
To be honest.
And you know what? 9 times out of 10, he was probably dirty macking on some Mario "You Should Let Me Love You" stuff and be like, bro, Ludwig be out here playing.
Not the Mario "Let Me Love You." Oh,
no, he's going with the Omarion.
Love you. The icebox.
Yeah, he's going with the icebox to her.
That's crazy.
But either way, yeah, something's definitely going on. I think, first off, she had a 300-day title reign, which was about 200 days overdue. Okay. If we're being honest.
Okay.
But you can just sense that something is off in the ring with her too, because she has looked very sloppy the last couple of matches. And somebody even posted on X her matches in NXT and all of the moves that she used to do, and they're wondering, why doesn't she do these moves on the main roster anymore? I think it's really more nerves for her. I think she's letting the outside noise kind of dictate how she should be wrestling when she came up, and when she was like in NXT, she had more freedom and in her movements and execution. Now I think with her being a champion, she kind of had that extra pressure on her that she needed to be perfect, when that's not necessarily the case. But I mean, that's what's going to happen. Sometimes you're going to get some outside noise. And then I bet for sure the rivalry with Charlotte definitely probably put a wedge in some things as well, as we all saw in the documentary about her going off script and talking about Charlotte's divorces.
Yep.
And now it makes me wonder, did Ludwig actually slide into Charlotte's DMs?
I think he really did. I think that was real. No, because okay, here's the thing. When you watch the segment, you got to see how fast like Charlotte popped off with that. Like that wasn't like a planned thing or nothing like that. I think like she had that one in the chamber, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it really could have been something where maybe Tiffy, you know, it could have been like, you know, because you know, in the dressing room, like I said, the girls gossip and stuff like that. She probably could have told somebody. Charlotte probably could have told somebody in the dressing room, like, yeah, like, you know, Ludwig tried hopping in my DMs, yada yada yada, blase blase. You know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, the word got back to Tiffany, and then of course, like I said, she's pissed about that. These two are working together, like that's messed up on Ludwig's part, because these two were working together, you know. Like I said, and he's you know what I'm saying, hopping in Charlotte's DMs because she not with Andrade no more, you know, like, bruh, like you move from one carbon copy of a blonde to another, brother. What you doing? Like, you know, I don't know.
Why do you think he's El Grande Americano now? He's trying to impress her like that.
Oh, big facts. Big facts. See, any thoughts on this whole debacle?
No, not really, man. I feel like Coach covered all bases. I like when you're. I think they've been together for a nice little hot minute, what maybe a few years or so. So like it's it's easy for somebody, especially someone of her age, to feel some type of way, you know, about a breakup, and then I impacting her, her career, so feel like it's just best to, take some time off, regroup, get her mind right until she decides to, come back, and continue where she left off. But, I think I feel like now was probably the best time to strike for Jade because they've been having her lose so many damn times.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, finally, put the strap on, and the best way to do was have her win in the squash match after losing the last time against Tiffany. So I'm glad they made her look strong and dominant like she was looking in AEW. And so hopefully, we know where this was. We know where this is going. You
Yeah.
know,
Mm-hmm.
we know who she will eventually face, and it's
Oh
probably
yeah.
gonna happen at WrestleMania.
Oh yeah.
And that'll be right on cue, timing wise, for her to be back off injury, Bianca Belair. And
Yep.
so yeah, I think that's where we'll be heading, and I can't wait to see it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, guys, now it's time to tune in to who to watch for in wrestling.
All right. So, a lot of things happening in the world of wrestling, and we're going to look at who to watch for this week. First person I'm thinking of, I'm looking at the NXT women's division. I mentioned her earlier in the show when we mentioned Shawn Michaels booking, and it is Keilani Jordan with her freshly new heel turn. I'm curious to see how she does with that and what her well, I think I know what her motives are going to be, but I'm more curious to see the reaction that she gets from the locker room and how she handles that. I would assume another match is coming up with her, maybe on NXT, but it also could be happening on TNA. One thing she has done is actually uh, claim that she is already the top TNA Knockouts champion of all time, drawing the eye of Mickey James, who says, "Oh, looks like somebody finally grew some balls." Which interesting comment by Mickey, but nothing's off limit for her. Just look at the Trish Stratton match in WrestleMania. Um, yeah, so you knew where I was going with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very interested to see the continued booking for Keilani Jordan this week. As for the men's side, and it was tough. There's a lot of things happening in NXT. Obviously, you have the last man standing match. You have some up and coming talent getting ready to wrestle in John Cena's final tournament. I am looking more over towards AEW, and one of the guys I really like in AEW, and that is Hook. I am curious to see how his interaction with Samoa Joe and Bobby Lashley is kind of changing. You see, you kind of saw it in the matches the last 2 weeks. His interaction also with Sheldon Benjamin too. It's very curious that he's not. I'm not going to say friendly, but he's being cordial with them, but still trying to egg them on. wouldn't be surprised if something happens this week to where they maybe try to recruit him to join their faction and leave Samoa Joe or cost them the titles in some way. I don't know. I'm intrigued to see where it goes with that. But Hook is definitely somebody to watch for this week on AEW, and that's who to watch for this week in wrestling.
All right. Thank you so much, Coachman, for that who to watch for in wrestling. All right. Now, our final topic of the night, the main event. And of course, as always, we have to talk about it. Guys, they announced last night the John Cena Farewell Tour. The Last Time Is Now tournament. That's right. And listen, there are the who's names are listed of people that so far are going to be a part of this tournament, including The Miz, Rusev, Solo Sikoa, Sheamus, LA Knight, Drew McIntyre, Penta, Carmelo Hayes, Bronson Reed, Gunther, and Dominic Mysterio. These are all the names that were mentioned already that will be competing in the tournament for the opportunity to be John Cena's last final opponent. Now, I don't think it's going to be anybody established. If I know WWE the way I know WWE, they're going to use this as a stepping stone to take somebody to the next level. Could it be a Carmelo Hayes? Could it be somebody else from NXT? Could it be somebody from AAA? Could it be somebody that's maybe not even within the company right now? Like I said, the big, huge portion of all of this has been who is going to be John Cena's final opponent. Again, like I said, John Cena, they played the video last night, the video package last night, showing him walk out to Kurt Angle and everything like that when he first debuted and said he had ruthless aggression. And it took off from there. Actually, it didn't take off from there. He almost got fired, but like I said, but it eventually ended up taking off. And like I said, John Cena is the GOAT in many people's eyes because of the success that he had. Now, with that being said, again, we have a lot here that we have to unpack. We're going to be watching weekly and giving you weekly updates on the tournament and the people that show up. But there's one key word that stuck out to me, guys. With John Cena, when he was reading off the list of people, he then said it could be somebody that's not even within the company right now. So that was very interesting to me. Doesn't even work here. It was his exact words. I'm sorry. So to me, that in itself made it very, very interesting. What are you guys' thoughts? And on the tournament, on the names, and who do you guys think John Cena's last opponent should be or will be?
The names are good. I think you got guys who have established history with Cena, which is always a plus. But then you also have some fresh new faces that people have probably talked about of like, oh yeah, I could see that being a pretty solid match. I'm already going to point it out that I don't think Dom's going to win. I think they're going to go ahead and have them face off at Survivor Series for the IC title.
I like that.
So I feel like Dom's going to lose his match. He's going to get frustrated saying that he should be the one to face Cena, to which Adam Pearce will say like, oh yeah, you're right. Here, you'll face him at Survivor Series for the IC title. Typical Adam Pearce style.
Right.
But as for the people that don't work there, I agree. Intriguing. I think somebody already brought up Joe Hendry will probably be a part of this tournament. Totally fine with that. Of course, a lot of people are also saying Edge making a comeback despite being under AEW contract. I just really don't see that happening.
Right.
But I do see Chris Jericho coming back early despite the contract. I guess I was wrong about when I said on Monday night that his contract wasn't up until January. because apparently it's been up for like the last month.
Wow.
So, and him and Kevin Owens were both at a Tampa Bay Lightning game this past week together. So, I think it's more of a Chris Jericho return. And I'm going to be honest, I think this would be so. You know how Cena had when he made his debut, it was all because Kurt Angle basically said, let's see if somebody has what it takes. And he stood up. I like the tournament idea, don't get me wrong. But what if on that last Saturday night's main event that we have our winner already, they're getting ready to go out, they get taken out by somebody mysteriously, and then somebody new that we don't see coming makes their appearance. Very similar to what Cena's first match was like. Nobody knew who he was or knew he was coming out. Why not recreate that in a way?
Right. I don't hate it.
Yeah,
What do you think, C?
I think that's a good. I think that's a good idea. Honestly, I'm not the tournament. I'm not really vibing with it because it's like, I think I feel like they're overdoing it in a way. Like, I just feel like, come on now. Like, all the other matches he's had, there was no tournament. He's been basically facing all of his former rivals.
Mm-hmm.
So, AJ Styles, Brock Lesnar, you can face Orton, you can face CM Punk, obviously Cody, and, now, I know we've been talking about Chris Jericho, maybe Edge, who knows? However, there's a certain someone who's been mightily absent over the last year or two or year and a half, who has had some small part in this Cena, farewell tour. He's also a part of the reason why they had to abort the heel run. And might I remind people that their record against each other is 1-1. A grudge match, a tiebreaker is warranted.
See,
I would not be surprised if Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson,
good and damn well,
decides to use his powers, his front office powers, and negate all of this shit and say, "Hey, I'm gonna be John Cena's last opponent." It'll be money making. It'll set the fucking roof on fire. I'll tell you that right now. I'm like,
yeah,
like,
but still, no. If that happened, I would shit my pants. But I highly doubt that happens.
why? Like, The Rock ain't doing shit. I'm like, he ain't got no movies. I'm like, the last movie he put out, from all I've heard, has not done well in the box office. So, he might need to take a break from making movies for a little bit, and come back to wrestling.
You're hilarious. No, he's already booked out and scheduled to start filming his next movie, and there's also talks of another Jumanji movie being in the works too. So, Rock, God. yeah, that's right. When
I've been waiting for that third one. You can't leave the second one on a cliffhanger like that. It's about time they make the third one.
Right. We'll just have to see, guys. Yeah, I agree. I actually agree with you.
Out of respect for the late great Robin Williams, I will not be watching the remakes.
Hey, they pay homage to him in the first one. Don't worry.
That's funny. All right. So with that being said, y'all, it's now time for our final segment of the night. That's right. It's time for Fritos. Fave 5.
Oh, he's not going to do it?
Nope, not until Fritos comes back.
What a little bitch.
Hey,
All right.
I gave one the last time he wasn't here. That was all he was getting.
Yeah. But what if Fritos gonna come back for like a month? You gonna go a whole month without saying it? Anyways, all right, folks, it's time for your Fritos Fave 5. That's right. I am in charge of the Fritos Fave 5 while he is out on leave, and I'm going to do the list my way. That's right. Give it to me. Number 5, Naomi. Why Naomi? Because Naomi just announced that she is 5 months pregnant, showing that big, beautiful belly. Y'all, we got the next generation worth of bloodline. Roman's got a kid now. Jade got kids now. And now Jimmy adds kids into it also. That's right, y'all. I'm telling you, like I said, the WWE is in great hands. The bloodline will never die. Just like Roman said, this ain't some faction or some group. This is God's doing, and you can't do anything about it, Paul Heyman. So that's right. That's your number 5 spot. Number 4, give it to me. That's right. We got Dom Mysterio, Dirty Dom, with his dastardly deeds, continuing to dominate the division of Intercontinental because he continues to win by hook or crook. Dom Mysterio is in your number 4 spot, winning that triple threat match at Saturday Night's Main Event. Couple botches, but still a pretty good match all the same. Now, number 3, give it to me. 2 spot, that's right, but they're tag team, so they count as 1. Your women's tag team champions, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, putting on one hell of a Monday Night Raw finish. Main event match last Monday. Really enjoyed it. Me and Coach talked about it at length. Guys, make sure if you didn't watch it, go ahead back and watch that last Raw Dog Monday Night episode so that you can also see that it was amazing. So, next up, give it to me. What's his name? What's her name? Her name is Jade freaking Cargill, and she is your brand new WWE Women's Champion. It's about time. And Jade looks like she is out to get all that's hers. Would love to see her get a mouthpiece and get somebody to do her talking for her and her be the Brock Lesnar of the bunch. But all in still, we appreciate the fact that Jade is your WWE Women's Champion. And anybody that comes knocking on her door is going to have a hell of a time. Bianca better not win the Women's Royal Rumble is all I got to say. That better be reserved for Liv Morgan to come win that Women's World Championship. But outside of that, that's right. Let's move to the number 1 spot. Finally, folks. Finally. He gets to actually have a full-length run as your WWE World Heavyweight Champion. That's right. Winning it at Saturday Night's Main Event. And the number 1 spot this week is CM Phillip Brooks Punk. That's right. Chicago-made Punk finally gets that World Heavyweight Championship that has eluded him. He did win it at SummerSlam by beating Gunther, and then just to turn around and end up cuffing that belt right back up because Seth Rollins faked everybody out and cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase to win the championship. So this has been your Fritos of Fave 5. Yeah. All right, guys. What were your thoughts on that Fritos Fave 5 list?
Not too shabby. I think you could have also mentioned Naomi's work on the Twitter sphere as well, going back and forth with Drew McIntyre, which I thought fantastic work by her. But I also think you could have added on somebody. I think got to give some love to Hangman Page for his disguise and attack on the ops. But all in all, I thought you had a pretty solid list there, Virgil. I think I'm going to give you, let's see, how did you do it? Give it to you. It's an A-.
I would have had Jade number 1. So that's my only gripes with it. So I give you an A-.
Gratitude, fellas. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, everybody that has tuned in to this episode of the We Book It Sunday Night Stunner. Listen, I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe, as well as leave comments below to let us know your thoughts on the episode. Hey, be sure you tune in tomorrow night for the Raw Dog Monday night episode. Until next time, peace.